I know some people that when they have free time, during the weekend, when they don't work, they have to do a lot of activities. And when I think about this, sometimes even staring in front of your wall and scratching your balls because you're tired, you don't want to do nothing, is an activity. So it's not that you're wasting your time. You want to sleep, even if outside it's sunny and you got nothing to do, sleep. Because this is what your body is telling you. Don't be stressed in your free time when you don't work, because it's meaningless. Just for saying, I did this, I did that. No, sleep, watch the wall, scratch your balls. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sasha and this one is my channel. Hello and welcome and hello. Today we'll be looking at a new atomizer by the Vaping Gentleman Club and Ambition Mods that has been sent to me for the purpose of this review. Tax-free. We're talking about the long-awaited Bishop 2. This one. We already seen the Bishop 1 on this channel. I remember that not so well because I don't have good memory. I think it was 1 year ago. I'm not very sure, but it could be. And it has been a success. A lot of people bought this Bishop atomizer. So the Vaping Gentleman Club and Ambition Mods decided to do the V2. An evolved version of the V1, but what's inside this box? Stop chit chat, time to go down on the table. In the Vaping Gentleman Club and Ambition Mod Bishop 2 MTL RTA packaging, we got a spare glass tank, a T-tool to make every job done, a little bag with some spare O-rings and spare screws, a blind air pin, a couple of 1mm in diameter air pins, a couple of 0.8 mm in diameter air pins, a simple but effective manual in Italian and English. And then we got our Bishop 2, an MTL RTA primarily made of stainless steel and glass. It's 22 millimeters in diameter, and this is the standard version, so it's 4 ml of capacity. We got the nano version too, that because I don't have it, but it will be available 2 ml version, a nano version. This one, the standard version, is 52 millimeters in height, and the nano one is 44. At the base we got the serial number and Bishop RTA and a couple of symbols that really I don't understand what they are for. Pin protrudes good, so you can use it with mechanical mods. Then we got our air pins on 2 sides. The standard ones already mounted on the Bishop 2 are 1.2 millimeters in diameter, and you can change them with all the air pins that I've showed you, and you can use the blind air pin maybe if you want just the air comes in on one side only, so the other side you put the blind one and you're done. Here you have a very good knurling on the sides. Then we got the tank, which is glass, these two. Then we got some knurling on the top, and then we got a drip tip, 510 standard drip tip. This smoked one looks really good, and this is how it is at the top. For refilling this beautiful Bishop 2, you just have to unscrew the top and refill it because it's a bottom fill. But you can separately buy a top refill kit, which is this one. As showed here, is in stainless steel, but it will be available in all the colors that are available for the Bishop 2. This is the top refill kit, as you can see, and it's quite easy to use. You just have to take down this part, you can refill it and then put it back. So it's super easy to do. And you put your 510 drip tip. Let's see how it looks. Here's how it looks with the Bishop 2. But we'll use the bottom fill because I like the bottom refill. Okay, you can easily take off the glass if you want to clean it better, and we're good for it. And this is how it looks here. Okay, it's conical basically. This is the chimney hole, and here's how it looks the bottom of your tank. You see, this is like a VEV kind of atomizer, so you got here and here a couple of holes on which they will let your favorite e-liquid go down in your deck. And talking about the deck, here's how it looks. You can see it's not that much different from the previous Bishop, but you got your 2 posts. And remind that when you build this Bishop 2, you have to wrap your coil, your wire for doing your coil counterclockwise, not like the usual clockwise that you do with your other atomizer. Most of them, basically. Here's how it looks, the post right here. And you can put just like that, like this, your jig coil for a better positioning of your coil. And talking about the coil, we'll use the Defcon 1 Ultra Nano from Breakill's Alien Lab, which is an Italian coil builder that I strongly suggest you. And this is how it looks, the coil. This is how it looks, the bell of our Bishop 2. You can see you got your 2 hairpins that you can easily change, just like pulling like this. So you take out this, you put it on your favorite one or your combination, blind one, etc. And that's it. It's super simple. You need no tools for do this. Okay. And for this first test, we'll use the Scirocco by the Vaping Gentleman Club, which is my best Syrian Latakia ever. So stop chit chat. Time to rebuild. Building hasn't been particularly difficult. Please take care on how much cotton do you put, and put it a little bit fluffed and up higher so that it will take all the drops that comes from your tank. And that's it. Not the easiest one, but not that difficult. And now let's mount our Bishop 2, refill it, and we're done.
The full finesse, the acid loneliness, the bitterness to be the next in line.
I had a 0.94 ohm and I'll run it at 16 watts. Vaping Gentleman Club and Ambition mods Bishop 2 MTL RTA. We've checked it, tweaked it, fiddled it, and now we come back to my face and do a couple of vapes and a couple of reasonings. Back to my face. So I've been using the Bishop 2 since a couple of weeks, maybe more than a couple of weeks, and let me take a tooth. So as you can hear, there's almost nothing, no turbulence. By the way, this is a kind of a FEV flashy vapor design which is famous for being very, very silent, and the Bishop 2 is silent too, as expected. For the hairpins, I think that the chosen hairpins that they decided to put in the packaging is a good one, because you get the blind pin, which is very helpful because you can play with that. You can have several combinations. I didn't count how many combinations, but I think there are quite a lot. And then I've heard there are alternative hairpins that you can separately buy, which makes you a lot of ton of combination, and I think there are more than enough. My favorite one is this standard one. Yes, because it's the one that I prefer, because it's not too airy, it's not too tight, it's just perfect. The one that I'm using right now, even if I use every one of them. Building quality is very well built, because we already know that Ambition Mods does a lot of atomizers, and the quality is always high. I think that it's very difficult, pretty much difficult to find a flow, find some differences between this atomizer that, by the way, has been made in China, and some high-end atomizers that are not so cheap. We're talking about the price later. It's not the easiest one, okay? It's not the easiest one, but you can be just an amateur and have a very good build with this. Just place very well the cotton. Don't put too much cotton, and fluff it a little bit, just as I did. The build that I did in the macro on the table before was the first one that I did, as always, because it's always like that, and it worked so good. And this is one thing that I was concerned about the Bishop V2. Maybe the feeding was not the best, it could be an issue, but it hasn't been. I've used the Bishop 2, no dry heats, not that cotton taste that you have sometimes when you don't feed properly your coil, and I've used a complex coil too because of this, because I wanted to push up the wattage. I push it up to 17 watts, and you know, a complex coil, there's so much wire in it, so it's easier to get dry, to have dry hits than a simple coil. But this hasn't been the case, just worked flawlessly, and I'm very happy about this. Then you notice that it has an elliptical deck. Sorry, because I'm not English, I can't say elliptical at first try, which is a good design. We already seen it in the Ellipse by BKS. You can see the video on my YouTube channel. This is good because you have to put just one way the deck into your eddies, so you can go wrong. It doesn't have notches like a lot of atomizer have for properly putting up the deck and the rest of the eddy. It's just elliptical, and it works very good. And then it should have something to do about the flavor that the Bishop 2 has, but we'll talk about the flavor just in a minute. Condensation, no heat. It doesn't heat up like never. it's super cold just because of the design. And what other things I have to say? Oh, by the way, the design is good. I've tried the top fill part accessory, but sincerely, I don't have any issues with bottom fill atomizers. And by the way, I prefer it, like aesthetically speaking, without the additional accessory for top refill, because it's more sleek, you know, no frills, just knurling, something more. I prefer like this, but this is just a matter of personal taste. They give you the option to have a top refill if you like it. Okay. Then for flavor, I've tried it with Siracusa from Azad Flavors, which is a very well known and renowned e-liquid brand from Italy, which is like lemon cake with some tobacco. And on this Bishop 2, it does very good because it's a bit sweeter than average e-liquid that I like. And usually in this kind of e-liquids you don't really perceive very well the tobacco part, because it's a lemon tart plus tobacco. But in this one it dries a bit, so you can still perceive very well the lemon tart, but you can you can taste the tobacco too. So it was a good choice. Then I've tried the Scirocco from the Vaping Gentleman Club, which is a net juice organic. It's a pure Syrian Latakia, and I didn't like that much because you know, the Latakia has a very smoked flavor but also some sweet flavor, and in this atomizer that it really dries the flavors. It's too dry for my taste. I would have preferred a smoother one, a slightly sweeter flavor with the Scirocco, but it doesn't get so. I don't recommend this Eri if you like fire cured tobaccos, just like Kentucky Latakia, stuff like that, because it dries too much. And I think that it's just the same for the barley, which I tried one barley, one simple barley. It was a bit dry because you know that barley is a dry one, it's not a sweeter one, and it didn't work out very well. But I've tried Virginia by Loco Rosa e-Juice, which is a Swiss brand, and it's a net juice organic. It's just a simple Virginia that I've tried with a lot of atomizer, so I know very well how it goes, and it was just like perfect. I mean, it was dried a little bit because the Virginia is sweet and that one is really sweet. Dried a little bit. The herbal notes that it already has were more pronounced, so you can really taste the sweetness and the herbal notes of the Virginia, and it was wonderful. So highly recommend for the guys that maybe like American blends or Virginia juices and stuff like that. I did research on my interweb, and I found that this Eri, the Bishop V2, at 44.90, 45 euros. So you really don't have to break your pig bank for checking out the Bishop V2, because it's quite cheap for the kind of atomizer that we have here. And really 45 euros for an atomizer that is so well built is just a matter of taste. But I don't know, there are some atomizer, high-end atomizer that are it costs like more than the double of this one, and the quality is just like the same. I bet that you cannot see the difference of quality, of build quality, between an high-end one, some high-end ones, and this one, because yeah, there are some high-end Eris that still shines, and you can see, okay, this one is really high-end. for build quality. I'm always talking about build quality. But for the rest, it's almost the same. So it's a question of design, personal taste, but comparing to others, it's cheap. It's cheap and it's very well built. What I would have changed on this Bishop V2, two things. As you can see, the deck, you have to wrap your own coil counterclockwise. You know, sometimes when you build a coil, you do like this, and you don't have to do it like this because otherwise it will not fit. You have to do like this, counterclockwise. If it was specular, it would have been perfect, but they decided not to do like this. In fact, it's the same of the Bishop V1. And another thing, which is very simple, I can show you very easily. As you can see, it's too simple to move the area apart from the deck. It's very, I don't push it too much. It's super simple. I can do it with my middle finger too. Okay. If you're okay with this because you don't do this too much, very often, it's okay. But I have to mention this because it happens to me that I accidentally moved the area outside of the deck without wanting it. So it's okay to mention this. And I think that I say everything about this atomizer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel because it's very important for me. And more English videos coming on. I got another one. And doesn't matter if you want to do everything in a Saturday, Sunday and be super stressed. It's okay if you are okay with this. I'm not that kind of guy. The very important thing is that you stay away from coffee nails. Ciao!